Giving ourselves a self-compassionate break. We're often really hard on ourselves. We think back to things we have said and done, and we ruminate over if we did the right thing, or we think about things we may have done wrong. We shouldn't be hard on ourselves, because to make a mistake is to be human. This practice can be used at any time really, but it's especially useful when some compassion is needed for ourselves. And so making sure you're sitting with an upright posture and that your feet are firmly placed on the floor, and closing your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. Otherwise, softening your gaze on the floor in front of you. And just a reminder to ourselves, if we feel that our thoughts become overwhelming in any way during this practice, we can return our mind to the breath, or even remove ourselves from the meditation. And so we're going to take 3 deep, purposeful breaths in and out. And as we do so, we're just going to try to relax our body as much as possible. Having a feeling of gravity taking us further and further down. A feel of real heaviness on the chair. And once you have taken these 3 deep breaths, just returning the breath to normal. And let's just observe the breath now, just for a moment. Paying attention to where you can feel the breath the most. The breath may be felt on the top lip as air passes over it to go into the nose, or it may be in the soft tissue of the nostrils, or at the back of the throat, or it may be felt the most in the chest or the belly area. Wherever you feel the breath the most making a sensation, just paying attention to this sensation for 1 moment. And now I want you to cast your mind's eye back to a time when you've made a mistake. Nothing too deep or too disastrous, just a simple mistake. It may be something that you did at work or something in your personal life. Just bringing the situation back to mind and trying to remember the physical and emotional feelings you felt at the time. These feelings may have been anger at yourself, or perhaps butterflies in the stomach area once you knew you'd made a mistake. Or it may have presented itself as an inability to concentrate on anything else. Just really getting in touch with the mistake and really try to bring it back to life in your mind's eye. And ask yourself, what's going on right now? What are you saying to yourself after you have made this mistake? And so now, We are going to be saying a few phrases which are designed to help us remember self-care. Let's notice that this is a moment of suffering, acknowledging this mistake and feeling how we're feeling. Let's bring awareness to our mistake and understand that it is difficult for us to deal with this mistake. Let's acknowledge how hard it is to feel this way. Perhaps by saying to ourselves, "This is really hard for me. This is really hard for me." Suffering is part of the human experience. It's normal to feel this way, and everybody suffers at some point in their lives. So feeling upset or anxious about the mistake we have made is normal. So how did we talk to ourselves when we made this mistake? Did we treat ourselves well? Did we reassure ourselves that everything will be okay? What did we say to ourselves? Now let's ask ourselves, how would we talk to our friend if they had made that same mistake? Maybe we'd say, "It's okay, it was a simple mistake." Or maybe, "I'm here for you if you need to talk." Or maybe, "I'm listening." And now I want us to focus on how we can talk to ourselves. Let's place a hand on our heart and let's feel the loving warmth of the gentle touch of our hand on our heart. Just allow ourselves to feel cared for just a moment. And let's say these words to ourselves. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I be kind to myself in this moment. And let's really feel into the sensations of our hand placed on our heart. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I talk nice to myself when I make mistakes. May I talk nice to myself when I make mistakes. And now let's take notice of ourselves right here, right now. Our bodies are breathing and working. We are wonderful creations, and we are all lovely human beings who happen to sometimes make mistakes. Feeling again into the sensations that the hand is creating on the heart area. This may be heat from the hand, or you may even be able to feel the heart beating slightly under the hand. And again, let's repeat the words. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I be kind to myself in this moment. It's okay to make mistakes. This is what makes us human. And now let us try to take the kindness that we experience in this practice to the rest of the practice and throughout our day if possible. May I be kind to myself. May I respect myself. And now bringing the mind back to the breath, noticing the breath and where you feel the breath the most in the body. This may be on the top lip, or the soft tissues of the nostril, or the mouth area, or the back of the throat, the chest or the belly. Just paying attention to where you feel the breath the most at this moment. And as we start to come to the end of this practice, just gently starting to move a little, perhaps wriggling the fingers and the toes, perhaps stretching and gradually allowing the light to enter your eyes until they are fully open.